One of the problems with note blocks is their proximity effect. This is where your distance from the note block affects the sound. The further away you are, the quieter the sound. And if the note is to your left or right, the sound will play out of your left or right speaker. This means it is difficult to make it so that you can hear a full piece of music. One of the solutions you'll see quite often is where the player moves with the music. Often this will be with like a minecart or just a creative mode camera. But I like to build things that are created in survival, and the long minecart note block songs tend to take up a lot of space. You may also see some looping machines, like some of my earlier videos, but the left and right proximity effect is very, very noticeable. Now, the Create mod has a brilliant solution to this. Wireless Redstone. Redstone links can send redstone signals over long distances, meaning you can play the same note block multiple times. The long, complicated redstone lines that control everything can be hundreds of blocks away, and as long as they're loaded, the music will continue playing right in front of the audience. But this isn't the Create mod. This is vanilla. And I want to see if I can create something that has a similar effect that uses only vanilla mechanics. So my thought here is that we can use torch towers. So let's say we have a note block here that we want to play multiple times. We can send a signal from here up the tower to play the note. But then later on we can send another signal from further down the tower, which will again play that very same note. So I've decided on 16 note blocks in total. Each one has a 3-block gap between, so that I have room to thread the redstone to the towers. I've also prepared a piece of music in Noteblock Studio that only uses 16 notes and just one instrument. It's very simple, but I think with the limitations of this idea, simple is exactly what I needed. Each layer needs to have 2 redstone torches, so each layer is 4 blocks deep, and I've decided on 16 layers in total, though of course you could build this design from the build limit down to bedrock. Now, I've skipped ahead at this point. I've created the first 4 layers, and this ended up being a lot more difficult than I expected, but I'll try and describe what I've done so far. To start with, this turns our button press into a 1-tick pulse. We want a short pulse so that we can quickly play the same note twice. With a longer pulse, the note block stays powered so that when the second repeater is triggered, nothing will happen. But the overall signal goes through these 2-tick repeaters, because 1 tick is not long enough to turn off a redstone torch. As you can see, things get a little bit complicated in here. Threading all this redstone and working out the timing was an absolute nightmare, as well as trying to ensure we don't create any loops. Now, copy and paste did come in handy, because layer 1 and layer 2 are exactly the same. I did have to change quite a few things with layer 3, and again with layer 4. There are a few differences here and there, but it all works. And now, here is what it sounds like so far. Now here, I'll show you the redstone. You can see the signal snaking along, branching off where it needs to, and when it reaches the end of the layer, it simply travels down to the next layer. We've skipped forward in time again, and it is complete. The 4 layers we did before repeat 3 times, with just a small addition each time, so it was mostly copy and paste, not too difficult. Here is the full piece. Do let me know what you think of this idea. I feel like it has potential, although I do think this concept of torch towers may work better with a looping machine. Perhaps a different loop on each layer, maybe a single row of note blocks for each loop, which could allow this to be compacted a little bit more. It's definitely something I want to explore more. Thank you for watching.